Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What is going on, and welcome to another episode of the Voice of the Black and Gold, your go-to podcast for all things LAFC. And guys, we have obviously a post-game recap review with LAFC versus San Diego, 2-1 San Diego, and it could have been. My prediction was a 3-2 LAFC. It definitely could have been a 3-2, but we're going to break it down a little bit. If you're in here, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe. It helps us out on the algorithm, helps us get our fan base up there. And today I got a friend of mine, Tim. You might know him on here as now Sonny Days LAFC. Guys, make sure y'all go and follow this man. He puts out great content. Obviously, he's coming over because of Son, but we welcome it. We're glad that he's here. And so, I just want to pick his brain a little bit and talk a little bit about LAFC. First home game since Son has been part of the Black and Gold. Tim, the environment was awesome. The fans were there, sold out. 32-52 was loud. Not the results we wanted, but we had every opportunity to really make it happen. I mean, we were all over it. I think Son only touched the ball 11 times the first half, but the second half, it seems like every shot that he had was just being blocked or trying to be walked in or off of the bar. He was all over it, man. I thought we were going to get the Son goal in front of the 32-52.
Dude, I agree. I mean, two pretty good chances, I feel like, with the curler. Would have been awesome to see one go in, especially that second one that hit the post. I don't know what happened that first half. He just wasn't involved at all. I don't know if it was part of the tactics, maybe a little bit of a decoy. Set up Belonga pretty nicely on that first goal. But yeah, just not enough touches. I don't know. I think the weirdest thing is this is the first time where I see Sonny just kind of getting more and more frustrated in the games, like with the refs and after the game. It's really, he has that competitive spirit in him, but I've never really seen him this frustrated at certain times of the game. So I really don't know what's going on, but you're right. We really could have won this game 4-2, 3-2 at the end of the day, or maybe 3-1 if we just didn't give up that second goal. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess, sometimes.
They're saying we need a midfielder, and we do. We need midfielder. We are going to have Moran come on. He should be here. I mean, actually, he's already training with the club. We should expect him out on the midfield very soon. And of course, we had some difference in the lineups, right? We had Chouanier out there in the midfield. Delgado, I don't know what's happening with him, but Chouanier is there. He made a couple mistakes today, Tim. It was sort of like up in the air a little bit with it. But and then you had Smallskoff out on the back line, and then Portier out there also, which I really like both of them. Tafari and Segura are a big problem on the back line, but we really need to focus on the midfield before we can focus on those two guys on the back line. So I think Moran is going to be a big help there. So Sonny doesn't have to come all the way to the middle to try to be the facilitator, and hopefully we'll have someone that can facilitate to him.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I know Son isn't the traditional 9,
Okay.
I feel like if we had a real 9 and you could kind of play off him, that might help a little bit. He's not that traditional 9. But really I agree with you. I don't, but sometimes this is the thing, like with Tottenham last year, obviously being a Sonny fan, a lot of us that now are kind of came over to LAFC, we still love Tottenham, but that was kind of our team last year before he was here. And I mean, really, that same squad, right? We had Ange. In the same way, I guess with Dolo Ball, it was kind of Ange Ball. It just seemed like in the beginning it worked out perfectly, and then everyone, the whole league, kind of figured it out. We could only play that one style. We were giving up goals all the time. Son was, utilized as a touchline winger. But at the end of the day, like this season now with new manager, we have most of the same players, maybe a couple new signings, but things look better. You know, I know Tottenham had a pretty tough loss this last weekend, but things look better with a new manager. So I know just being a fan of this podcast and just you being so nice at just kind of really integrating all of us new fans. And I know you guys talk about Dolo out a lot. And I wonder if that's kind of going to be the big change we need versus all these players. And I know in the MLS right now, it's towards the end of the season. So I get worried a little bit about, hey, all these new players coming in. At this point, we kind of need it with all the injuries, I think. But I just get kind of worried about like the chemistry and just like how they're going to keep flowing if we're just adding new bodies in. But I agree, something needs to change, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy that you can already pick up on that. Like, it's, to be fair, and I've said this to every guest that I've had that has now just came over, is like, I almost apologize for what you guys are seeing with the Dolo Ball. You know what I mean? And I hear you say Ange Ball, and it's interesting because that's a weird topic with people who were Spur fans that know what Son had went through with him. But us as LAFC guys, this isn't our norm. This isn't what we're used to. We're used to the high press. And we even got to see it a little bit today. And in our chat, we were talking like, whoa, we have a high press right now. What is happening? Because this is so not Dolo's style. This is not what he gives us. And so we were pleasantly surprised to see that high press at times, right? But then again, it just falls apart a little bit, I want to bring in our buddy Will also. Will, what's going on, man? Just sitting here talking with Tim about LAFC. And, hey, man, the game did not go how we want it, but we're talking about how, look, San Diego is a great team. LAFC had all the chances in the world to get it done, and things in the midfield from Son having to go back to be the facilitator. Once Moran gets in there, at least we might have a facilitator where Son can be where he needs to be to have someone facilitate to him and take advantage of that.
No, I agree. The first half looked pretty good. I think it was a stalemate. Like, I thought it was a pretty evenly matched, especially San Diego FC being as good of a team as they are. They're the best team in the Western Conference. But you could see that it just kind of fell apart in the second half. You could just see the difference. Now, I don't know how much Denny Bwanga was the main person I thought disappointed the most because he was trying to do too much. And we talked about that a little bit in my post game. But Anders Dreyer for San Diego FC, you could just see the playmaker, the facilitator, the shot creator that he is. LAFC needs something like that, right? And imagine if you had someone like that feeding to Son Heung-min, how much of a difference it would make. So it just feels like LAFC are really just a broken team at the moment, and they're just band-aided together. I don't know if Tim agrees with that, but Anders Dreyer, when you saw him play, man, just the difference, the quality that he is, and you just wish that LAFC had another player like that on their team. And Denny Bwanga is supposed to be that. He just isn't. He just tries to do way too much and trying to be too flashy. So we'll see how that pans out towards the end of the season and then go into the playoffs. But disappointing. I thought they could have came away with some points. It's disappointing that they came away empty-handed in his home debut.
Tim, let me ask you, man, because I've mentioned it already and I haven't heard you talk about it yet. What about the guys just trying to walk it in? I mean, to Will's point, Bwanga had, two that he really could have just took even outside the box because we've seen him do it at the very beginning. Son gives that beautiful ball over to Martinez. Martinez shoots it into Bwanga. Bwanga with a nice little lob kick over. Boom. Beautiful first goal. And there was an opportunity to do that again, but he just tried to go around the keeper and say, let me walk it in. Wasn't really the move that we should have done there.
No, yeah, I agree. And I think Son had one of those too where he was on the left side. Could have maybe taken a shot, maybe a deflection off the goalie. Someone's out there to pick it off. So it's not just on Denny. But I just want to say before, I mean, for most of us, Sun fans or Tottenham fans that kind of came to the MLS, when you're doing your quick research for LAFC, Denny Bouanga is the guy. You know, he's automatically before Son even played. Was it a League Cup match? I think, but Bouanga didn't end up playing. But I was excited to see number 99 at the time because we don't know anything other than he's the main guy.
Yeah.
So I honestly think the last Nick, I agree with kind of your critique even last week. I think you had of Bouanga. It just wasn't up to par with kind of how LAFC fans and I know how he could perform. I thought today it looked good, pretty good in the first half.
Yeah.
It looked awesome, you know. And I was like, man, this is the guy everyone's talking about. And you're right, that second half, the one-on-one chances, but even more than that, I don't know if he has a hot head, but just some of the fouls where he's just tugging with the game on the line, kind of 4 or 5 minutes left. He's getting frustrated, tugging guys, making fouls. I felt like that one ball he had into Ordaz, he kicked it like he didn't really care, just kicked it as hard as he could. I mean, can't really do anything with that, you know, bounces off the shoulder, but things like that. But yeah, I agree. I feel like if any of our front three just kind of were more decisive, including Son, I feel like maybe we could have salvaged the point, maybe taken 3 points. Who knows? But yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, Will, Tim is just bringing fire right now, right? I mean, and he's only now watched 4 LAFC games, but has already assessed that much, Will. It's pretty impressive. And I didn't hear not one lie, not even one embellishment. Everything that he said is absolutely true. The guys have to step up more. And, you know, I was telling Will on his show earlier, some of the guys have to be even a little bit more selfish out there, Tim. You know what I mean? Like to take that shot instead of looking up for Son or Son trying to be the hero to pass it off. Take those shots. Will, where do you stand on that? I mean, if someone that's only now watched LAFC for 4 games can see that, Dolo has to see it at this point and say, guys, come on.
No, I agree. But, you know, Sonny is just a very unselfish player. I don't think he cares. I said this in our show, too, that he could care less if he has even one shot attempt as long as they win. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to win the game. And it's disappointing to see the service around him collapse so badly in the second half. Should be a lot better. And that's why I kind of said that I think it's, you know, a team that's kind of held together by a Band-Aid. Like it's a Band-Aid job. I'd be very surprised if they really win anything this year just because there's so many holes. The back line is just not good enough to win a championship. The midfield doesn't create enough chances. The coaching is bad. Tim, I don't know what you think about Dolo in the 4 games you've seen, but I think his tactics are pretty bad. A lot of people are Dolo out. Now, I do have a question for Tim. I'm curious about this. Now, David Martinez, obviously, he's had a couple frustrating games, but tonight, the 19-year-old, the Venezuelan, you kind of see that flash of quality. There's a beautiful pass to Denny Bouanga in the first half to score that goal. What is your takeaway from David Martinez as far as compared to the first couple games and what you saw tonight?
Great question.
Dude, great question. I think Martinez, when I first saw him, I think the first Sun game he was starting and it wasn't Ordaz. I felt like the first one, I was like, man, he's kind of selfish. Then I saw that like he's really young, all of that. And it was Sun's kind of beginning of the tenure with LAFC. And then Ordaz came in, I think, that first game, and the chemistry just looked a lot better. The difference between Ordaz and Martinez, I feel like Ordaz kind of, when he gets the ball, he looks at Son. He's like, I'm trying to get the ball to Sonny. I want to set up someone. Martinez, at least, he gives us that like option where if Sonny passes the ball, then he gets him the ball. Someone from the midfield gets him the ball. Like he takes the shot. Decision making sometimes questionable. I feel like he took a couple pretty bad shots. I think I forgot what game it was where Martinez took a shot. He skied it. Son was right there. Felt like if he just laid it off, Son could have finished that or had a higher chance goal. But today, yeah, I agree. I think I tweeted out saying I thought Martinez was great today until the injury, which was pretty unfortunate. So hopefully he's okay. But yeah, that pass was beautiful. I feel like he's pretty speedy, I think. So I feel like if we can just get that chemistry, just have him also just realize, hey, sometimes the best option is to pass. Today, though, genuinely, I thought Martinez was really bright. To be honest, I think when Ordaz came in, things just kind of got a little flat.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that assessment 100%. And I'm going to come to Will on this first, and then I'm going to come to you, Tim, putting aside, all the mistakes. But the refereeing has been really disappointing. It feels like it kills the tempo. Will, talk a little bit about the refereeing here in MLS. And then I sort of want to get Tim's point of view because, again, he's watching from, the Premier League standpoint of it. The refereeing here on MLS has never really been that good, in my opinion, Will. What's your opinion on that? Because for the new people that are coming in, the new eyeballs that are saying, hey, this is how MLS is refereed, it really is. It's always questionable.
No, the refereeing is definitely subpar in MLS. It's kind of similar to the defense, right? A lot of teams have really poor defending. Refereeing has always been suspect in MLS. A lot of missed calls, maybe. Sometimes it feels like the referees in MLS kind of have an ego and they don't really want to be checked, and they kind of like, hey, I saw what I saw. I don't need VAR. I know, what is right. So there was a couple, things today and that I've seen recently. There's just really bad calls, really, really bad calls, especially like in Leagues Cup too, which is a lot of MLS referees, reffing those matches as well. But man, I don't know. I still think even with the poor, reffing, that other than that, the game was just disappointing in general. Like honestly, that I don't think would have saved them anyways. There's just so many other glaring needs that I don't even think the reffing, some of these missed calls. I think Sonny got fouled pretty hard inside the box at one point, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long day. We did 2 long streams today, but I'm pretty sure there was a couple. And he was at the end of the game. He was absolutely grilling the ref. Did you see him in the grill? I think Bouanga was with him too. They were just laying into the referee at the end of the match. But you love to see him, though.
No, for sure. Tim, what do you think about that, man? I mean, what is your impression of the ref so far in MLS, the 4 games that you've watched?
Yeah, I think everything you guys said. I saw the Vancouver, was the Mueller penalty kick that he should have never had, to be honest.
That was a bad one.
I think I saw that one, and I kind of realized, like, hey, wow. Like, obviously, going from the Premier League to the MLS, like, I think for a lot of our eyes, I don't think anyone came in with expectations like it's going to look exactly the same. I'm not saying that the MLS is a worse product or whatever, because genuinely, I personally enjoyed this past month, this transition to the MLS. But it's just more, refereeing, I agree with Will. I don't think it would have helped us today at all. But I just wish sometimes it's just kind of crazy that, like, we could have 9 minutes. I've never seen really 9 minutes of stoppage time at the end, or sometimes I feel like they just like really just kill the vibe of a transition or attack. Sometimes the fouls are a little soft, they call it, and then I feel like something big happens. They're like, I'm good. But yeah, I think the welcome to MLS refereeing moment was when I saw the replay for the Whitecaps or whatever, when Mueller had that penalty. Yeah.
Look, guys, we have people in the chat saying the same thing. Maybe Sonny needs to be a little bit selfish for a chance. I think Sonny needs to be a little selfish at times. And, I said this earlier to both of you. I said it on Will's show, and I agree. I think with them, look, I think when he came from Premier League, it's not really going to have to be what it is. He's going to have more people around him, whatever. And I think that LAFC has pieces around that's going to really help Son be the superstar that he's going to be next year. I have in my opinion, no doubt that Son is going to be in the running for the Golden Boot. I believe this. I think he's going to be he's already the top kit seller of here in the United States. He is going to be a Golden Boot chaser for sure. This year, I think for the remainder of the games, we need him to be a little selfish, and it's probably so out of his his character that he doesn't even think about that, because as Will said, he doesn't give a crap if he gets a goal. I think he gives a crap about getting a goal because I heard him say it in an interview. But more importantly, he wants to win. He wants the 3 points over the goal. He wants the 3 points over the assist. And so with that is going to have to come a little bit of selfishness, Tim. And it's going to be out of his character, but he needs it.
No. Yeah, I agree. I think in Tottenham too, all of last season, we wanted that. I think him being the captain of the club kind of suppressed some of that kind of selfishness. But on this team, I mean, today, if you told me that Son was going to have 4 shots and 2 on target, I would have put the house on it that he was scoring 1. I think he just got unlucky with that one off the post. But yeah, I think if the service is a little better, I think he can take some more shots. There were definitely times where the Ordaz one, I think I tweeted about that as soon as it happened. Ordaz was there, he could have just passed it to Son right there. He didn't, and then Son was like visibly frustrated. He shows his emotions every single time. He's been doing that on the Korea team, on Tottenham. He shows his frustration out loud. So I feel like if he can get a couple more of those opportunities, he'll take some shots. But I do also have another thought is I just feel like Ange Ball last year, obviously we won Europa, that's huge, but in the league we were conceding so many goals. And it was just like the 2 goals we gave up today were out of nowhere. It's a long ball pass, and all of a sudden it's not even 3, 4, 5 beautiful link-up plays. It's one, and then the defense kind of just kind of messes up and they score pretty easily. I feel like sometimes as an attacker, and maybe for Son in those instances, he doesn't want to take on those one-on-one opportunities if he has it, or those one-on-two, because if he loses the ball and now all of our guys are forward and then we're transitioning back. And like if he doesn't feel like, hey, maybe the defense is a little forward, like when we were pressing pretty heavily today, if that's the LAFC way, it looked great, especially that first half where it felt 50-50. But I feel like sometimes, and he's probably seen it enough, it's you lose the ball up front because one of the attackers try to make something happen, and then 2 seconds it's the other way and they're scoring. So I feel like if we can get a little more fluidity in the middle and in the back line, kind of like the spine of the human body, if we could just get that connection, then everything starts to flow a little better. Son could play with a little less peace of mind. I'm not saying that's the reason. It's just a thought. And I know that was echoed also in Tottenham too, where sometimes on the attack, you're a little more hesitant because you're afraid of the counter. So,
I mean, Will, they're saying Ainge PTSD over here. Now he's over here going to have Dolo PTSD. And to Tim's point, I mean, you know, maybe that's the truth. Maybe he's not used to that. And he's like, oh, hell, I'm back in that same type of position.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was going to ask Tim this too, because this has been kind of like a hotly debated topic. A lot of people say that they don't want Ange, like they don't want to see him and Sonny back together. What would you think about like Jose Mourinho now that he's been sacked with Fenerbahce? Like, now obviously he plays a more defensive system than, you know, some of the other coaches that Sonny's had. But what would you think about him reuniting with Sonny? Would that be something that would be good to see? Would the South Korean fans be cool with it? Because I'm telling you now, me and Nick were getting killed for even suggesting that Ange should be in contention.
We were.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, just like from a Son perspective, right? Son's a god for a lot of Korean people. I'm Korean American, and he's kind of the gateway to soccer for me, the same way. And growing up in LA, I had Kobe Bryant for basketball, Clayton Kershaw for baseball. Son's our guy for most of us for soccer. Especially our kind of my age. The younger generation have another guy, Lee Gang-in, and then the older generation has Park Ji-sung. But yeah, just to get to that question, I mean, Mourinho and Son have a good relationship. I genuinely believe if Tottenham never sacked him before the final, Son would have 2 trophies now. But I just think that, I just feel like Ange in this system might be pretty cool. I think Mourinho would be good. I just feel like, especially at the MLS level, he'd be an elite coach that's proven. I think a lot of the PTSD just comes from the Son stands just realizing Son was so poorly utilized. But I think here in the MLS, Son doesn't have to be a winger, especially if Bouanga stays. I don't really know too much about that situation. So if he's going to stay, or I've just read some stuff that like maybe we should have sold him, or he was going to leave, or he was on the way out. I don't know too much. But like if Bouanga's still there on the left wing with Ange, who knows, Son might thrive kind of as an inside forward or as a striker.
But what about Jose Mourinho? Is that someone that you would want to come in and be, at the helm for with Son again?
Yeah, I personally think that'd be cool. I know they have a good relationship. I know even before this LAFC move, he was linked there. I know it's all talk a lot of the time, so I don't know how official things are, but he does have a good relationship with him. And so I feel like for the team though, it's he's a winner. And he's a proven winner. It might be a little boring style ball, but sometimes if you get results, you get results. But I just feel like it comes down to the team and the players you kind of give him. I feel like Will said, I agree. I feel like Sun coming in kind of created maybe a distraction now from what I'm seeing for this LAFC team and the real problems that were coming on. It kind of gave us 3 weeks of like, hey, Sun's here. It's all positive. Things are good. We took five points out of 9 possible. Whatever, we'll live with it. I still think it should have been a lot more. But I feel like today, for the first time, I was looking under the LAFC, just the 2-1 defeat, like their post, and there's a lot of negativity for the first time that I've seen. So I feel like that band-aid from Sun coming up here is like off, and it's like, okay, this is reality.
Yeah. So Will,
yeah.
where do you stand on that? Would you like to see Jose come and take over LAFC? And if so, we know that he parks the bus a little bit. Is it going to be a little bit of the same with Dolo, but obviously Jose, but he's more of a proven winner? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I remember that Jose Mourinho used to play some very exciting ball, especially when he was at Chelsea, like you were saying, in the Eden Hazard days, or Diego Costa and Oscar. Like, they had some good times, but it seems like towards the back end of his career, you started to shift more to like 5 out of the back, more defensive system. I think that's what he predominantly played at Tottenham specifically. What I like to see him, of course, he's a great quote. He's entertaining. I would just love it for the plot. I don't know if he's going to win, but we'll see. Now, it just feels like the stars are aligning. You said he wanted to be in MLS at some point. He's 62 years old. How many more years is he going to coach? He could go to a bigger club in MLS. He gets to coach a former player that he wanted to. Even if the rumors weren't 100% that he was going to go to Fenerbahce, they were still links. Like, there was still that connection. So instead of Son coming to him, he can go to Son at LAFC. There's part of me that wants to see it because of the storylines, the quotes, but then a part of me wants to see them bring in a coach who's going to be implement an exciting, high attacking offense, whatever you want to call it. So I'm on the fence. I'm like 50-50. I would be cool either way. I would like to see Son return back to being a left winger because I think that's where he's the most creative. That's where he's at his best. I don't like him playing at top full time. I mean, Denny Bouanga, I think they need to ship him out if they have to. Get someone else in there. But whoever's going to bring the strengths out of Son is the best thing for this team. And if that's Jose, got a good relationship, and that's what they got to do. But when you spend $27 million on a player, you're building around him. He's got to be the central focus on whatever you do. And so they just got to do what's ever going to make him succeed and put him in the best position going forward.
Yeah, my buddy Chris, and this is what I say too, is that Thornton wants an attacking coach. He wants someone more like the Bob Bradley of what we had in 2018, 19, 20. And that, I think that's what we're all looking for, right? We want to get back on that front foot. We want to do the 1-2 passes. We don't want to go backwards anymore. It's constantly me saying this, but it's just not what we want anymore. Guys, this has been a fun little quick post-game review. Tomorrow, big show. Big show tomorrow, 7 o'clock normal, Monday, 7 o'clock. We're going to do probably like a 1 hour, 32-hour show. We're going to have friends come through. I think Tim's going to stop back by. We might see Mr. Will come through for a little bit. Andrew, Tony, and I, we're just going to have some of our friends come through, and we're going to talk about it because why? It was at BMO Stadium. Sonny's first game at BMO. The 32-52 was absolutely fantastic tonight. The energy was back there. Also pretty cool that we're going to have some fan content out there. So Katie, a friend of VOBG, she went around and talked to a couple fans there. So we're going to have some interviews from some people who've never been to the BMO Stadium that want to talk and give us what they experienced. And then other fans, that are hardcore, they want to say, hey, look, this is what we need. This is what we don't need. So I'm excited to see what she grabbed. I haven't seen it yet, but I expect that it's going to be pretty well, it's going to be pretty well given. So I'm looking forward to having that. But guys, we do appreciate all of you being here with us on this review. Make sure you give us that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 1,100 subs already. Our watch hours are right there, so we're moving up, guys. VOBG is in the house, and it's thanks to this Sonny wave. We all know it. We're not going to deny it, and we appreciate all of you joining us here at the Voices of the Black and Gold. But LA's still black and gold, no matter what anyone says. Thank y'all for being here with us. Will, tell them where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me at MLS Moves. I cover the entire league. I did 2 watch longs tonight, Inter Miami and Seattle Sounders. Then I did the LAFC versus San Diego FC. With this show tonight, I think I'm at like 6 hours of consecutive soccer talk, 6 hours tonight. So I'm gassed, but I do it for you guys. Check me out. I cover all LAFC's matches, especially since Heung-min has been here. So make sure you check me out at MLS Moves on YouTube.
Tim, let them know where they can find you, man, because you've hit the ground and you hit it hard and running. So let them know where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, nothing crazy. Just Sunny Days LAFC on Twitter or X, whatever you call it. But just really thanks, Nick. Thanks, Will. You guys are awesome. I've been watching both of your contents over the past month. Will, I know you're the neutral guy, and I was just watching your video before Inter Miami's game today, so I could kind of get an idea of the other teams in the league. And Nick, like I told you before this started, you've been very, very welcoming to all the Sun fans, to Tottenham fans, whoever that's been here, and so that's cool. And I think day one you put me in the group chat, and now I'm here. So thanks so much, man. So go subscribe to these 2 guys.
I appreciate having you here, Tim. Stay around after we get off here. All right, brother. Thank you all for being here. Hit that subscribe. Thanks, guys.